we'll do a couple of things first. This is the first time I've used this Nexa, and I'll just want to make sure everything is working correctly before starting an experiment. And usually when I'm going to do some UPS, it's good to check that the sample biasing is working correctly on a known sample. And so this is the the UPS sample holder that allows us to apply a voltage to the samples so that we can move the spectrum, which we need to do if we're going to measure a work function. And on the standard sample holder, we have in this top corner a piece of silver, which is a good reference for testing this. So when I start using the system, just to make sure that I am seeing the correct bias, the correct voltage applied to the sample, I use the silver just to check. So that's the first thing that we will do. So to start with, the samples are in the system. So we can just navigate to the middle of the silver. And bring it into focus. Okay. It looks like this is the area that's been cleaned quite a bit previously, so I will start here. This will save time. But the first thing I'll do always when putting a sample in is always start with XPS, because XPS will tell me how much contamination there is on the sample, how much cleaning I will need to do. So let's just change our experiment name to UPS. And then we just want to use a point in the middle here. We won't need the flood gun, so we can turn that off. Change the name to Silver Standard 1, and then we just want to do a survey scan. We'll maybe just do 5 scans just to check. So we will. So once we've seen the XPS data, we'll know how much cleaning we need to do. I imagine this sample is quite clean, so it will just need a quick clean to make it good. Now, obviously our XPS analysis size is 400 microns. Our UPS analysis size, and I might see if I can show you the size of the spot, is about this kind of size. It's very big. So we have to clean quite a large area to get good UPS data. Okay, so what can we see on here? So we can see our silver peaks nicely. There's a little bit of carbon and a little bit of oxygen, but not too much, so that should clean quite quickly.
고민하네요. 서베이를 우리도 지금
With cluster mode, if it's just carbon and oxygen, probably yes. Please use cluster mode. Yeah. No problem. Okay, so let's just put that into a processing window. And last scan. And then just to make sure that I've seen everything. Okay, so we have, it wasn't on Signal Silver. So I just want to check something because it's when running the enhanced survey identification, it's not finding the silver peaks, which are the biggest peaks in the spectrum. That probably means it's charging slightly. So I'm just now turning on the charge compensation system. So turning on the flood gun, just to check the difference between the two scans. So it may be that this piece of silver isn't in very good electrical contact, which might be a problem. Sorry? Yes. Yes. Yeah.
돌려서 볼 때도 매뉴얼 돌려서
팔이 짧아서 잘 안 되죠. 까치발하고 하고 있어요.
So it's a piece of glass. That's the right way on the right side.
예.
So this is
근데
this is
에스칼레이터 계속 썼어요. 왜냐면 예전 거랑 비교를 해야
and
되니까.
then the other thing,
예. 그래서 보통은 계속 쓰던 사람이 쓰다 보니까
one piece of this.
원하면 해줄 수는 있는데 그냥 계속 쓰더라고요. 셀프 유저도 에스칼레이터 해요.
piece of BT with
편한데 이제 지금 손희연 선생님이 얘기한 그 이슈 그것 때문에 약간
베스트 사이즈.
이 레스터 사이즈 그거랑 이따 얘기하실 것 같은데 여기 컷오프에 있어요. 여기 이게 테일이 길게 떨어진다.
길게 떨어지면 나중에 수치 변화가 많이 생길 수 있어서
그거는 아닐 수도 있는데 근데 문제는 이제 그렇게 돼버리면 일반적인 공간이 다르잖아요. 그래서 약간 좀 페이지
AR가 AR 플러스가 있거든요.
안 됐다고요.
에스파레프도 켜놓고
네, 근데 맞아요. 그러니까 이제 그런 느낌이에요. 저는 그냥 진공도 안 좋으면 오래 걸리는구나 그냥 그렇게 생각하고 했거든요.
사실 이게 설치가 하는 문제가 없는데 타입이 엑스레이나 이런 같이 선택하거나 재미있게 빵빵 쓰는 나옵니다. 오늘 가해도 되고 가해도 되는 상태도 있고 컨디션이 봤을 때
안 켜진다고.
커런트로 제일 먼저 결정을 운전하는 거지. 그런 켜지고 나서 다시 내려오는 거지.
해야 하겠구나. 에미션이가 아마 이게 사이까지 올라가면
계속 이게 먼저 나와.
맞아요. 저도 몇 번 물어봤어요.
혹시나 지우고
So the scan's just finishing now, and oh, it's finished. Okay.
못 잡는 경우도 있던데.
Sorry, there's something strange happening here, and I can't understand quite why it's not.
의미가 이상해.
실버가 안 나와요.
ESP로 했는데요. 실버가 안 나오고.
well, we'll clean it and see what happens. It's the software isn't detecting the silver, and it's not really making too much sense to me. Okay, so we know we need to clean this sample up, because if we try doing UPS on this surface, because the energy of the UV source, the kinetic energy, is very low. It's only for helium-1 radiation, it's only 22 or 21 electron volts, and for helium-2 it's 40 electron volts, which means that the photoelectrons we're collecting are coming from very close to the surface, so we're only really measuring in the top 2 to 3 nanometers compared with 10 nanometers with XPS. So any surface contamination has a big effect on the UV data that you collect. So let's clean this up. Now, as I say, if we do a normal sputter, we'll just clean this area, and for the UV lamp I want to clean a larger area. So we will set up to do an area map. Actually, it's easier to do it from here. And then within this map, I'm not going to do any analysis. I'm just going to clean the surface, and we will use cluster mode and AKV 3. We'll just etch for 30 seconds and set the raster size manually to 2 millimeters. And then we just need to set the step size for our grid. So I want to set that to 2 millimeters as well. So once that's set up, we can just run, and this will now just clean the area. Oh, so these are the coordinates of the corners and the middle of the area. So this is this position, this one is this position. And the reason we have those is so that you might have your sample might not be flat. So if it's flat, and I'm expecting this to be flat, I can just say, okay, the middle is the right position. However, if the sample is sloping slightly, then what we can do is tell the software to measure the height here, here, and here, and then it will adjust these values to define the shape like this, not like this. We'll do this in detail this afternoon when we talk about imaging. But yes, that's so you have these two buttons here. One is make flat, which will make all the heights the same, and one is make planar, which will change the corners so that it's like this or this.
이쪽에 잘못하고 보니까 Z축 하이트가 바뀌어가지고 측정해서 만드셨죠. 여기를 제가 맞춰서 연습하거든요.
One problem with the silver sample being on the sample holder is that any samples that are analysed on here will contaminate the silver sample, so it always needs a clean. But it's always a good idea just to check the system.
그러게. 그러니까 옛날에도 뭐 실버 있으면 색깔은 자주 변했던 거 같아요.
저도 저렇게까지 안 하고 그냥 찍어서
맞아.
대충 나오는 거 하죠.
저렇게 랩핑하듯이 해서 엣칭을 하면 이게 엣칭이 막 분석되고 그럴 거 아니에요.
계산하고 하는 거 같아요. 계산하고. 예, 그럴 것 같은데.
한약 사이드랑 뭐 이게 지금 보니까 겹칠 것 같아요.
기록? 영상 같은
1마이크로 1마이크로